Buenos días, ¿cómo están? Good morning. Okay, so let's start. First of all, I wanted to really give a big thanks to PRF to be here again. It's always a pleasure to connect with such amazing people, and we had so great time at the farm. So let's go. So we're going to talk about Middle East coffee trends. And actually, I think it's the third lecture I read about coffee trends, and it's something that we really keep getting involved, also because changes from country to country and from region to region. And in Middle East, of course, like everywhere in the world, the coffee consumption really grows after the COVID. But one thing that is very interesting there is very common that, especially the locals, when I say locals, it's Emiratis or Saudis or Qataris, they really love espresso, and it's very common they have 2 or 3 groups machine at their houses. And so espresso is something that they love, but this comes together also with the traditional beverages, that the Arabic coffee or Saudi, Qatari coffee, because now for Saudi we cannot say Arabic coffee, we say Saudi coffee. And the Turkish coffee is also something that is very common there. So these are the traditional coffees that also nowadays is very common when you go to specialty coffee shops. You can find specialty coffee for Arabic and Turkish. Usually, Turkish coffee, we need to have Riuminas on the blend. Otherwise, if you don't have the phenolic, people are not going to enjoy. And capsules, instant coffee, cold brew also is another thing that is really growing in the region. And sustainability. Okay, we talk a lot about sustainability, but it's really coming to a reality. And it's something that they really are looking into, especially nowadays in Dubai and in the UAE. They are stopping with the single use of plastic. So until 2025, these are going to be over. And packaging lines for companies, they have to change also. So for export is accepted if you use plastic, but very soon are not going to be accepted anymore. So you have to have compostable product, otherwise are not going to be able to be in the market. So certifications, compostable and recycled packaging, as I said. And also one thing that is really pushing the market for sustainability is the hotel chains. They go to the roasters and they say, okay, if you don't have compostable packaging or if you don't have a coffee with a traceability or a certification, I'm not buying. So you have to offer this for them. And also the roasteries with certification, so BRC, Rainforest is really important. And the high-tech equipment in the coffee shops. And also coffee shops that are energy efficient. This is also starting to really grow, not only in Europe, but in the Middle East. More and more, they are trying to have the better way of using the energy, so solar panels, and of course, LED lights is also very common there, but it's very important also that the machines that are with high tech, they are using also, and they are really trying to get more and more. One thing that is very common when you go to any coffee shop in Middle East, not only in Dubai, but also Saudi or Qatar or Bahrain, you go to a coffee shop, you are going to have minimum 2 espresso machines with like 5, 6 grinders. And then the grinders only for pour over. It's a lot of equipment, and then we say how this can be sustainable. But anyway, they sell a lot of coffee, and when you go in the night, like 11 p.m., the coffee shops are full of people drinking coffee, especially in the countries that you don't have alcohol, such as Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and Saudi. In Dubai or in UAE, even with the alcohol, it's very common. People drink coffee until 2 a.m. It's impressive. When I arrived there, I was like, I cannot. But yeah, because I come from Brazil, and for us, like, coffee is around 5, 6 a.m., and that's it. You can have after dinner and done. But after 10 years there, you start to get used with how people do the consumption and how they enjoy the beverages. And, okay, also cold brew in the night. And there's another thing also that is really happening there a lot is the snap cooling coffee. So they just chill the coffee immediately. So you ask for a pour over, they're going to ask you, is hot or cold? First time I was like, what this? So they put ice and they struck the pour over on the ice, and it's quite nice also. So this is something that is really coming to a trend, and we really need to be careful also with how we are going to evolve for the future, because with all the possibilities they have also there to build up things and create new things, for them this is very easy to do. They have money to build up and to make as with all the technologies that's possible. So this is not a problem. And this you have to keep in mind also when you go to talk with some roasters there, because they are going to search for something unique and different. And I'm seeing some faces here of people that have been there soon, like not too long, and you saw this happening. So they are not going to only ask you, I wanna, when you talk about specialty coffee, and I have a friend of mine, he's there selling green coffee, and he told me, Cleia, I have to have several different coffees because I sell to the brothers, and one tells me, okay, don't sell the same coffee to my brother. So he has to have different farms and different process, and otherwise he are not going to sell his coffee. So, yeah, and this is something that when I came there, okay, the drive-thrus were already in US, but they start to create a different kind of drive-thru. Nowadays, we have lots of coffee shops with drive-thru, the typical way, but in UAE, I believe it's because of the summer. They called, since I was there like 10 years ago, they were calling the coffee shop and say, okay, make me a Spanish latte. We don't like it. But who doesn't know, Spanish latte is espresso with milk and condensed milk. But they ask the coffees or the espresso or the lattes, and they just honk, and the barista comes out with the coffee. So you have drive-thru if you have all the parking slots and everything, or I know there is a barista, she won 4 times already the barista competition there, and she's the world Turkish champion. And Michaela, on her coffee shop that is very small in Jumeirah Road, it happens this, they keep making queues on the door just to get their coffees. So this is really impressive, and it's what keeps the business also. But also, one thing that we need to keep in mind, the market, especially in Dubai, is quite saturated. We have a lot of coffee shops, a lot of micro roasteries, and is over 615 roasters. Is quite a lot for a city of only 4 million people. The whole UAE is almost 10 million. And keep in mind, during summer, people are going to leave the country because it's too hot, or also because it's during summertime is also vacation for the kids. So many people stay out most of the time during summer. So the population also fluctuates. We have much more people during winter time, that is now, but during summertime, the cities are empty. So how you need to be sustainable to survive during all the year. This is another way that coffee shops and micro roasteries are also increasing the sales. I used to do in the roaster that I was working there until last year, we used to do pairing sessions and teaching our clients how to do pairing, also even hotels or in small coffee shops. Because when you do this, even on your menu, you can increase your sales from the coffees and the beverage that you have with the pastries or with other products. I really like to do with cheese also. I know it's different for many people, but cheese and coffee, depending the coffee, can give you a totally different and unique taste. Yeah, yeah. We love cheese bread. And the cuppings also. Cuppings is something that for years and years we have been doing for our work, but when you do that with your clients, they can be surprised, and it's very educational also, and then this helps you to sell more. So it's something also that I really like it. This is something also that is really growing a lot. So ready-to-drink coffee, so flavored cold brew, nitro coffee, plant-based, all non-dairies, and the snap chilled coffee also in bottles. This is something that is really growing exponentially there. And I think not only there, but because of the summertime, also all the heat, we can expect this more and more in the region. Yeah, the other thing is actually what we have been doing these days before PRF. So the STE is something that makes us being together, many people in a farm, that we are going to learn all the process and how the coffee farmers are producing their coffees, the process, the new varieties. So this is something that you can bring to the next level. I remember in Brazil, I used to give barista classes in a hotel inside the coffee farm. So he created a hotel, 4 stars, and we were inviting people to come and have the barista classes, and it was with a view very similar to that from the classroom. And they were loving. And this is one of the ways of you to keep your farm also profitable, and are going to increasing also the expectations and your sales. And then also finding other projects that local community can work and can engage. The other thing also, by the way, Bob, I love your project, it's amazing. You guys just saw the video also. So all these things are going to bring something back to the community and are keeping the farm. When you don't have the harvest season, you can bring people to your farm and do other things. So coffee tourism is something that is really good and helps the farmers to keep going on. Okay, I think I was too fast. We are going to answer the questions later on the next floor. But yeah, so if someone has any question for now, any doubt of what I've said? Nobody have any question about how is the UAE market? Thank you. That's fine. Thank you very much for your time.